Volodymyr Zelensky's life story and political career, early life and education. Full name: Volodymyr Alexandrovich Zelenskyy. Date of birth: January 25, 1978. Place of birth: Kryvyi Rih, Ukrainian SSR, then part of the Soviet Union. Family background: his father was a professor of cybernetics, and his mother was an engineer. He is of Jewish heritage. Education: studied law at the Kryvyi Rih Institute of Economics, a branch of Kyiv National Economic University. Although he earned a law degree, he never practiced law professionally. Entertainment career: comedy and acting. The 1990s, Zelenskyy became involved in comedy through the KVN, a Russian-language comedy competition show. Founded the comedy troupe Kvartal 95, which became popular for political satire. Television stardom. In 2015, he starred in the TV show Servant of the People, where he played a schoolteacher who unexpectedly becomes president of Ukraine after a viral video rant against corruption. The show was hugely popular and served as a springboard for his real-life political career. Political career: founding of a political party in 2018, Zelenskyy and his team from Kvartal 95 formed a political party, also called Servant of the People, named after the TV show. Presidential campaign, 2019, announced his candidacy on December 30, 2018, ran on an anti-corruption, pro-transparency, and anti-establishment platform, had no prior political experience, used social media and digital platforms effectively, appealing to younger voters and those disillusioned with traditional politicians. Election victory, April 2019. Won the presidential election by a landslide, defeating incumbent Petro Poroshenko with over 70% of the vote. Presidency, 2019-present. Initial challenges: faced issues such as corruption, judicial reform, economic struggles, relations with Russia and the West War with Russia. February 24, 2022. Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Zelenskyy became a global symbol of resistance and courage, refused offers to flee Kyiv. I need ammunition, not a ride. Delivered frequent video messages rallying both Ukrainians and the international community. Leadership during wartime united much of Ukraine politically and socially, helped secure significant international military and financial aid, addressed many world leaders and parliaments, often drawing parallels to historical struggles for freedom. International recognition featured on the covers of global magazines like Time and The Economist, named Time's Person of the Year in 2022. Continues to play a central role in global diplomatic efforts related to the war in Ukraine. Personal life: spouse, Olena Zelenska, née Kiyashko, a screenwriter and former colleague from Kvartal 95. Here's a detailed look at Volodymyr Zelenskyy's personal life, including his background, family, and private journey beyond politics. Early life and family background. Born January 25, 1978, in Kryvyi Rih, then part of the Ukrainian SSR in the Soviet Union. Ethnicity and religion. Zelenskyy is ethnically Jewish, though he is not religiously observant. His background is significant, especially as a Jewish president of a country with a complex history related to Jewish communities. Parents: father, Alexander Zelenskyy, a professor and head of the Department of Cybernetics and Computing Hardware at Kryvyi Rih State University of Economics and Technology. Mother: Olena Zelenska, an engineer. Holocaust connection. During W2 Many of Zelensky's Jewish relatives were murdered in the Holocaust. His great-grandfather and 3 of his great-grandfather's brothers were killed by the Nazis. This background has added depth to his stance against fascism and authoritarianism, education, and early interests. He was raised in a Russian-speaking household, but has become a strong promoter of Ukrainian language and identity. Studied law at the Kryvyi Rih Institute of Economics, a branch of Kyiv National Economic University, fluent in Ukrainian, Russian, and English. Though he completed a law degree, he pursued comedy and entertainment instead. Marriage and family life. Wife: Olena Zelenska. Full name: Olena Volodymyrivna Zelenska, née Kiyashko. Born February 6, 1978. Profession: writer and screenwriter. Worked for Kvartal 95 studio. Love story: Zelenskyy and Olena were high school classmates, though they didn't know each other well at the time. They began dating in university and married in 2003. Their relationship was built on mutual respect, humor, and collaboration in creative projects. Children: they have 2 children. Olena Zelenska, born 2004. She has occasionally appeared in TV shows and sketches. Kirill Zelenskyy, born 2013, life outside politics, entertainment, and humor, known for his sharp wit and humor, traits that shaped both his career and personal interactions. He participated in many comedy shows and parodies, including impersonations of politicians. Ironically, he once spoofed Ukrainian presidents before becoming one himself. Private and family-oriented. Before becoming president, Zelenskyy led a relatively private family life, despite his fame in entertainment. He has often expressed his desire to shield his children from public attention and politics. Changes. After becoming President, Olena Zelenska, initially hesitant about his political run, became an active and prominent First Lady, advocates for education, reform, gender equality, and mental health. Works on international humanitarian and cultural diplomacy. Family under threat. After the Russian invasion in 2022, the family's safety became a major concern. Olena and the children were moved to a secure location early in the war, while Zelenskyy stayed in Kyiv. Zelenskyy has publicly spoken about the emotional weight of being separated from his family during wartime, public image, and personal values, known for his modesty, resilience, and emotional honesty. Rare among world leaders for his media-savvy communication style, which feels personal and direct, often stresses the importance of family, love for his homeland, and duty over comfort. From comedian to commander-in-chief, initially met with skepticism when elected in 2019, many saw him as a comedian with no political experience. After Russia's full-scale invasion in 2022, his image dramatically transformed, became a symbol of resistance, courage, and national unity, often compared to Winston Churchill for his defiant rhetoric and wartime leadership. Lauded internationally for his calm but determined tone and his willingness to stay in Kyiv during the invasion rather than flee. The relatable president dresses in simple military green shirts or hoodies, even during international appearances, avoids pomp and formality, communicates in a down-to-earth, human tone, uses videos filmed on smartphones, often from his office or the street, creating a sense of immediacy and authenticity. Media mastery. Former actor and producer, knows how to use storytelling and visuals effectively, speaks to different audiences with tailored messages. He has addressed the U.S. Congress, British Parliament, European Parliament, global summits, and award shows, like the Grammys and Cannes. International Hero Status. Named Times Person of the Year 2022, regularly featured in major global publications, Time, The Economist, Forbes, etc. Viewed as a symbol of democratic resistance against authoritarianism, personal values, patriotism. Deeply committed to Ukrainian sovereignty, identity, and culture, has promoted the use of the Ukrainian language while respecting minorities' rights, frequently honors fallen soldiers and civilians with visible emotion and sincerity. Integrity and anti-corruption, ran for office on a clean government, anti-corruption platform, has made multiple efforts to reform Ukraine's judiciary and civil service, though progress has been slow and challenging due to entrenched interests. Publicly distances himself from oligarchic control, despite early criticism about connections to media figures like Ihor Kolomoisky. Transparency and accountability, emphasizes open government and frequent public communication, regularly publishes wartime updates and direct appeals, not filtered through heavy PR teams, accepts responsibility for government shortcomings rather than deflecting blame. Empathy and emotional strength. Shows visible emotion in times of national tragedy, visiting hospitals, speaking with victims' families, commemorating deaths, seen as a leader who feels what his people feel, rather than standing above them. Democratic values frames Ukraine's war not just as a fight for territory, but a struggle between democracy and tyranny. Respects freedom of speech and press, even during wartime. Ukrainian journalists remain active and critical. Opposes Russian authoritarianism and promotes European integration. Major awards and honors. Times Person of the Year, 2022. Chosen for his courageous leadership during the war and his role as a symbol of Ukrainian resistance. Shared the cover with The Spirit of Ukraine, recognizing both him and the Ukrainian people. Ronald Reagan Freedom Award, 2022. Awarded by the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation for advancing the cause of freedom and democracy. Winston Churchill Leadership Award, 2022, given by the International Churchill Society, recognized for his bravery and powerful communication during wartime, drawing direct comparisons to Churchill during Batifu. European Council's Sakharov Prize for Freedom of Thought, 2022. Awarded to the brave people of Ukraine, with Zelensky accepted as their representative. Recognizes individuals or groups who defend human rights and fundamental freedoms. Addresses to international parliaments and bodies, Zelenskyy has become one of the most widely heard wartime leaders of the 21st century. His speeches often include historical references, national symbols, and moral appeals. Some highlights: U.S. Congress, multiple times, compared Ukraine's struggle to Pearl Harbor and 9/11, appealed for more aid.